Coming in, yeah.
Yes, lad.
How are we, lad? You all right?
Good to see ya. Nice mic up. Good to see you. What's occurring? It's like we did this before we went in.
I know, it's almost like we planned it.
I know, it is. It's like this is a video and it's not just a standard client cut.
Yeah.
Should we go and sit down?
Let's go and sit down.
Come on in. How you been? How's your journey?
Been good, mate.
How's the wife and kids?
It's great. It's fine. Hey, I know I look like I've got 3 kids and a mortgage, but I am only 23. But yeah, just got back from Italy.
Nice, how was it?
Nice little refresh on Amalfi Coast. Can't beat it, lad.
I'm so jealous because I haven't been to the Amalfi Coast for about 3-4 years. It might even be more, but I've not been down there, and it's like one of the best coastlines ever. You don't really appreciate it when you're younger, so I need to hit it back.
But I find it so funny because like everyone posts it on Twitter as well. Like you're like, oh, I really want to go to Italy, but they act like it's like the Maldives or something. It's like it's only about 2 hours on a Ryanair.
It's like when people do it and they put that thing, it's like the white wall on the Amalfi Coast. You're
Mate,
like,
it's the same photo from the same restaurant in Positano every time. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
I was like, I love Positano. It's like, have you seen the rest of Italy?
I know, yeah.
I'm going back in November, definitely.
Yeah.
So I need to go back and
Mate, that Positano costs about $2,000 a night, though. You might as well just.
Yeah, no, but this is it. So like when I go see my family, I go to Bologna or I go to other places.
Yeah.
Bologna is just so much cheaper.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to do. Obviously, it's not, Positano on the Amalfi Coast. But
Yeah,
it's
a
still
bit more
unbelievable.
anti-fascist graffiti in that, but still
Yeah. Anyway, what are we doing?
decent. So, just the ends off on the top, and then one fade. Please,
Hang on.
mate.
Should we crack on then?
Let's crack on.
After you, mate. Struggling to get out of the chair. Oh my God, nearly slipped. It's almost like this is a pilot.
I've got some goodies in this bag.
Oh, yeah.
Because I am a full retro shirt addict. So.
Oh, it's almost like we talk about that all the time as well.
Oh, it's good.
It's banging. Right, take a pew, son.
I'll whip those out later, though.
Nice. Right.
Jump in.
Let's get cracking. Nice. So obviously, we're here to talk about shirts, a bit about you, but obviously, big thing is opening weekend of the season.
Yeah.
Chelsea playing Everton at Goodison Park.
It's going to be tasty, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? I'm really nervous about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, to be fair, when you got done by Big Frank and he stood on top of the opening bit, the walkout bit, and went like that in front of the fans. It's like Christ the Redeemer, honestly.
Mate, what do you think about him? Because I get very mixed messages when I talk to people about Frank Lampard.
So I'm always a person who's like, I don't want to judge people until they play a few games. And even when Rafa came in, everyone was fuming about him. I knew Rafa was going to be a bad choice, but I still wanted him to play a few games, see what it was like. Obviously he played a few games and he was all right though at the start. Rafa. He was, wasn't he?
He was. I thought he was, but again, so as I told you before, so my uncle's a massive Everton fan.
Yeah.
Like home and away, does everything. And I kind of understood why everyone was so vexed.
Yeah.
Because when...
Oh mate, see all the graffiti now outside the ground?
It was like when he came in, it's like, it did kind of show that there is a complete lack of understanding from the ownership. It was like,
oh yeah.
Why have you done that?
But that's what you're going to get. As I say, when you get an owner who isn't from... I say, even anyone who isn't from the city or he's not even from the same continent, he's just not going to get it.
It's like, this is why sort of like... Whenever I go after Liverpool, right, I don't go after City, I go after the club and the whole, this is what we stand for sort of thing, and because I don't think people do appreciate it. So it's sort of like I said, I've been saying to you before in the past, so my mum was from Liverpool, so I understand the city, not obviously to the same extent, but I appreciate what it is and the differences.
Yeah, the rivalry.
And the nuances and the rivalry and just what everyone's like. But I don't know what it is about, like, it's such a special place in terms of like what it's like, and if you're not from there, or you don't understand it, people think, oh, what's it all about? I think it's like the whole Scouse, not English thing that they use is like a stick to beat you. But it's like, oh no, like there is a reason why people are like that. There is a reason why everything goes that way. And it's just sorting all of that out and appreciating it. And I don't think people do. It's a weird one.
They don't, because they don't understand like the managed decline and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, oh, it was 30 years ago. And it's like, yeah, it's 30 or 40 years, whatever. 30 or 40 years ago, but you still feel the effects now. Yeah. So it's not like it was just that period, and it was only like Maggie. But yeah, we won't touch on politics too much.
Yeah, we'll stay away
the biggest story ever as our manager now, so we can't say too much. You know what I mean?
But you're happy with him? You think he's going to get given the opportunity?
Yeah. So as I say, with Everton, it's winning the fans. Once you got the fans, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter how good you are, you sound. Look at David Moyes, 10 years of mediocrity. Yeah, don't get me wrong. That's where our club was at that point, but we loved him. You know, as we used to sing, he's got red hair, but we don't care, all that. And then you saw straight away, as soon as because I'm sure he'd done an interview in like a pub, or whether he met a fan or something like that, where he said like, oh, I can't, you know when he went to United?
Yeah.
He was like, oh yeah, fuck the fans or something like that. And that's when you lose them. As soon as you lose the fans, they'll be on your back, like seriously, you know what I mean?
Is that what happened with Moyes? Because like, I always used to like him. I thought he was really good at you lot. I thought that was a big thing, you know. And I thought, oh, right, that's interesting. I didn't realise that's what happened, how it all ended. It all went a bit...
I say, when he went to United, just went a bit skew because he didn't respect us. Like, he didn't understand, like, what we give him, sort of thing. So now it was always like, every time we play Moyes, we got to beat him. And we got to smash him. And it was great when we done them 4-0 when he was managing West Ham. You know, when Rooney scored that halfway line goal. That was unbelievable. Loved it.
Do you see sort of like the way he's brought West Ham up? It's like you're saying there's mediocrity. Obviously, you guys hit UEFA Cup, Champions League, nearly qualified with him as well.
Oh, don't talk to me about Villarreal.
Oh mate, no, that's you know, I won't talk about that. But you know, like, do you see similar patterns with him when he's at West Ham now? Like, do you see like?
To be fair,
similar?
I feel like he's definitely progressed as a manager to be doing that with West Ham now, because although you could sort of say it's similar to where he had us when it was that era of us and Liverpool 4th and 5th, you know what I mean? Like that used to be the goal, finish with Liverpool, you sort it, doesn't matter. It's like Tottenham and Arsenal, you know what I mean? Like it's like St. Tottenham's days when we finished with Liverpool, you know what I mean? But that hasn't happened in a long time, unfortunately.
Oh, mate. But it's on your one phase, by the way, do you want it midway up or do you want it sort of low, high, medium? Where do you want it?
I don't even know.
Middle.
Does it? What's it look like now? Middle.
Middle. Should we go middle? Let's
middle.
go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like it's an interesting one. Like, I think that Everton as a club, there's such a big opportunity there for whoever comes in and runs it properly. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with Mashiri, because obviously he's in a similar position to what Abramovich was in for us. And
no, I think he's all right.
Is he?
I think he's all right because it's Usmanov. It's not Mashiri.
Okay.
I think that's the sticky one. But I think to get around that, we just had to rename the training ground, and it was all right. Something like that. But
that easy. So
I know we are all right.
Done. So fair play.
Bit of money laundering, all that.
But yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. What's your summer been like in terms of transfers and stuff? Like, have you done anything?
Yes.
How you feel everything's going with Richarlison going?
Do you know what? Well, as I say, I haven't been super hot on it. I know we got that Dwight McNeil, is that right?
Yeah, Dwight McNeil from Burnley, yeah.
From Burnley, yeah. I haven't seen too much of him personally, but I've heard a lot of good things. And then obviously we've had a straight swap for a shit house, which was Richarlison for Tarkowski. Or Tarkowski, whatever his name is. Which I love, because for me, the best thing in football is shithousery.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, I don't think there's nothing that makes me love a player more than shithousery. Like, nothing in the world. Because my favourite player used to be Kevin Morales.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, he was a bagsman sometimes. But it was the fact that you knew whenever there was going to be a Merseyside derby, he's going to absolutely clatter someone, lad.
Yeah.
And that was the best thing. That's what I like to see. That's what I'm here for. And that was Richarlison. Richarlison done it in a little bit different way. Like, still had the big tackles, but he threw a couple of dives in there, which I don't mind as long as he's doing the business. Like, but I'd say that is one of my favourite aspects of the game. Shithousery. Like, you just can't beat it.
You appreciate it. It's like when we signed Ziyech.
Yeah.
I remember when he's playing at Ajax against us, and he scored that free kick that went off of Kepa's face. I was sat in the Matthew Harding, and he keep coming in. He turns around to Matthew Harding when that guy's in, just does that and looks at everyone, and everyone was losing their minds. And me and my dad were just sat there going, yeah, fair play. It's just like,
that's what you got to do.
It's just like, that's like, you appreciate it.
Yeah.
And it's like when Nketiah did it to, like, when he scored against us, obviously he was like old academy product. And then he like turns around, does a little dance, and everyone's going nuts. You're there, like,
yeah, it's such a killer. But it's like, I get it. The only thing which I'm a bit too far, it's happened to us a couple of times, is the kiss and the badge stuff. Arteta done it against us, Rooney done it against us, I think Lukaku done it against us as well. I don't get that, because like, when they play for them for a week and they're already kissing the badge, do you know what I mean? It's just stupid when a club's give them so much, but Well, never. Don't get me wrong, if I was a footy player, I'd probably do it myself, but...
Oh, mate, this is it. It's like, when there's certain things, like, the kiss and the badge thing, I don't get.
No.
Because you're there like, okay, like, why have you done that? Like, that's just completely illogical.
Like, really, you should only really kiss the badge if you're playing for the club you support.
Yeah, absolutely. Or unless there's like a massive affiliation. Like, obviously Frank with us, when he started, was, you know, West Ham through and through to his old man.
Yeah.
But then he's
But when you're a club legend and you, like, I understand it for Lampard, if, like, as I say, if you've had years at that club and they've created you and made you, you got to kiss the badge because you love them, innit?
Well, this is it. And I'm wondering what's going to happen with him, because I think the big problem with Everton, and I think the biggest problem you guys have faced, is definitely sort of your recruitment. Yeah. Like, I've looked at some of the players that come in, and obviously, you know, Dwight McNeil, you know, I don't know if he is a Frank Lampard signing. We'll have to see, obviously, what happens with that. Yeah. But, you know, I think that everything that he's bringing in, you look at it, but like, that's a bit weird, a bit random. Like, this fella coming in, this fella coming. It's like, what's going on here? Do you think he's going to get the time?
See, I don't know, because we have got a lot of wingers. You know what I mean? We've got like Iwobi, probably a bad start to win, but Iwobi for me, like, the thing is with Everton, we signed so many players where they'll smash it for one game, do shit for, I don't know, can we swear?
Yeah, go for it, mate.
Yeah. They'll do shit for 15 games. And then they'll score one out the blue and we'll be like, oh my god, this is the best player ever, absolutely love him. Like, I was never a great lover of Ross Barkley.
He might have come back to you, apparently.
I know. But that's what we do. We're the worst ex-girlfriend ever. You know what I mean? Like, Everton are a bad ex-girlfriend. Look at Ghana Gay. Ghana Gay's what about? They're just a gay.
Yeah, he's like.
But he's good. I'll give you it in. But like, we'll take some shite back, like Rooney. Like, don't get me wrong, he bagged a few, but like.
He wasn't great for you at that point.
But we do a couple of PR signings, and that is a PR signing. Gay's a PR signing, even though he's good. Rooney was a PR signing. That's what we do to keep the fans happy, because all Everton is about is keeping the fans happy. Yeah. And with Frank, I don't think Frank would have had as much belief from the fans if we were safe 6 games out than if we were safe 1 game out. Do you know what I mean? Because it's that that let off. And then you get the fans get behind you. Because really, we shouldn't have been in that position from the start. You should have had us well out of that position. You know what I mean?
Do you really feel that? So you think that? Okay. So you think also what he's done and sort of like developing you guys again. Obviously, let's be real. Like the last couple of years.
Oh, it's been rough.
It's been rough.
Mate, no. Well, it hasn't. It's only been rough from Rafa. That's where we were sound with Ancelotti. Like. I know it's Ancelotti.
But it's like he did, like, you started well, and obviously you had that Ancelotti effect with like, obviously, prime example was James Rodriguez coming in. Like, that was when that happened. Everyone was a bit like, hey.
I was in love with James.
Yeah, mate. I don't know what happened. He just went, see you later. It's like, oh, right, okay.
I had his hair pink fucked off, or it was pink or blue, or something like that. That was in a mad colour.
It's the video, and it was like Everton are going to sign James Rodriguez. I didn't believe it. I was like, when I see the signing video, I believe it.
I saw that. And Alan.
Humpty Duffy's. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
like,
Duffy's.
What happened there? Just like, you seen James Rodriguez, like Golden Boy winner, absolutely smashing it.
It was just a dream for me, because like obviously I used to make head swaps and that. No, it was a dream and it was annoying at the same time, because obviously I used to make head swaps, which was photoshopping footballers' heads onto videos and stuff like that. And Everton never had a signing big enough for me to make one. Like, because I think one of the first ones I made was when Moyes might have came back to Everton, but it was Ancelotti instead. But then James came, and you can make stuff with James and you can make stuff with Ancelotti. But I didn't work for the company, I didn't work for Football Chair anymore, so I couldn't even make him anymore. So I was just banging him out on my own channel. I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to tweet it myself. But it was great just because, like, you know what I mean? Having those big name players just brings it up so much.
And it's a big thing. I think, like, obviously the Premier League and everything that's happened with it. Yeah. It's sort of gradually got bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah. And when you get signings like that, it's like, oh wow, okay, fair enough, that makes sense.
Oh, it's just a game changer, because we're not one to usually. We get like one of those signings every 3 years, you know what I mean? Whereas see other Premier League clubs get loads. Because what we'll do, we'll spend the dough on shite.
Yeah, so this is what I was saying earlier.
Because it was like, how much was Iwobi? Iwobi was like
40 million.
40 mil.
Pay for him.
40 mil on a Wobie, like, because you can do a couple of step overs, you know what I mean? And like, not make a cross. Like, that's all he can do. But don't get me wrong, towards the end of the season, he was great. I'll give him that. He put a shift in when he was needed, so I'll allow that. But yeah, it is a bit annoying with Everton sometimes. So sometimes they just don't put their money where it's needed. Yeah. But I'm glad that we've got that Tarkowski, because we always struggle for a centre half.
Well, this is it. Like, I think since obviously Distan and Jagielka were like your guys for years.
Oh, mate. Yeah.
And then since then, it's just like
because Michael Keane's hitting this. But like, I remember back in the days when we had Joey Yobo and all that. You know what I mean?
Yobo, man!
Yobo.
Look about him.
Elite. What a man.
I was him and Tim Cahill were always my guys. And I'll be honest, right? When I was younger, obviously I got an Everton shirt at my uncle, because he obviously did his best to be like, right, I'm going to make you an Everton fan. You're definitely a Chelsea fan. And I got him, and I had a signed one of those, you know, those in the club shop, you had those signed pictures you could get. I had a signed picture of Mikel Arteta in my room for a little bit.
Wow.
So it's a bit like everyone's there, a bit like, because when I was keeping that to myself, I was like, you know what, like...
Mate, you know, some of the first footballers I ever met was, so obviously I'm from the Wirral, which is like just over the walls from Liverpool.
He's not actually Scouse.
No, I'm a wall.
He's not.
I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm a wall. Just for everyone watching. And that one as well. I'm a wall. That's another topic, but we can get onto. But
we'll dissect that in a minute so people can understand it.
So in Birkenhead, which is like half rough, they wheeled out two Everton new signings: Andy van der Meijden and Nuno Valente. Those are the fair, and I bought an Everton autograph book, and those two players are the only people in that book. Do you know what I mean? So that was an experience. Obviously I was buzzing, because it was just like, well, I was like buzzing, but I was also like, I've got no clue who these players are. Right. But I was just going for the vibes. You know what I mean?
Mate, is this what it's one of those you tell me, go on, go for it, why not, have a bit of fun.
And then met Leon Osman a few years later. But that was just because we were in a suite, and you know when they walk the players in, like the old players, he was nice lad.
Leon Osman's like, he's a classic hero.
Oh, he's great.
It's like him and Tony Hibbert were like the Everton.
Oh, mate, Tony Hibbert. I'm gutted I never went to his testimonial, you know.
Chelsea just don't do testimonials, and I don't understand why we don't.
Yeah, it's a bit strange that.
I think it is. Like, there are certain, it's like when Lampard left and Ashley Cole, and it was pretty unceremonious. You know, they did their lap of honour, and that was it. Like, cheers, lads, see you later. I was like, really? Like, you're not going to give players like that, like, that have won us everything, that opportunity to sort of say goodbye properly.
What did you think about when he went to City?
I saw it coming. I was there as soon as he signed for New York City, so he's going to go on.
Yeah, if you sign for New York City, you sign for City, you don't sign for New York.
So, and when everyone was kicking off, I was like, why? Like, it was going to happen. Yeah. When he scored, though, it was like one of those, you know, those moments where you see a player come on, and you're like, right, it's going to happen. Like, it's going to happen.
It's like watching your bear cheat on you.
It was like, the thing is, you saw it in slow motion, because everybody saw that run. Oh. Everyone saw it coming. He's like, he's there. Shit. It was like in between us, man, of shit. Shit. It's like, didn't know what to even say about it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, seeing what he does. What do you think is going to happen in the game? Be honest. Like, do you think because it's first game of the season, it's going to be blank canvas, see what happens, crack on, or is it going to be a bit more of an interesting one? Do you think?
It's going to be. I'll give you. It'll either be you win 3-0, or a 0-0 or a 1-1. It'll either be a proper boring game, or you'll roll us over, because, as you say, we've got some new people in some crucial positions. Like I would say, Tarkowski.
He's a great signing.
Great signing. But he's new, and you got to gel first against because. Friendlies are bollocks for me, honestly. They don't do anything.
So someone was 4-0 to Arsenal and you got AFTV kicking off like, we're the best team in the world. It's like, it's fucking Florida Cup.
It's a friendly. Like, you can see, if you watch a friendly, they don't run. They don't run. Like, I was watching it the other day. It's like, it's just almost like when you play against beginner on FIFA and they don't press R2 to make it easier for you. That's what it's like in a friendly. And then they score and then like, but they score weird goals that you don't usually see in football.
No,
that's how you know they're not trying.
It's when I remember.
It's like when you got the sliders up on Blue FIFA. This is like having sliders up on FIFA.
It's like I remember when Pedro scored that. We played Red Bull Salzburg in a friendly.
Yeah.
And do you remember that scorpion kick flick on he scored?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, what a goal, it's unbelievable. It's like, yeah, it's a great goal, but the keeper just turned around and went, okay, we're going to hit the ball now. It's like, no, I don't want that. Give me the passion.
I remember us, like, twatting someone 27-0 a game in a pre-season friendly, and it's like, it means nothing.
I remember
It means
that.
nothing. And then we get, like, rolled over by, like, Tranmere 2-0. And, like, it's like, yeah, it's fine. Stop moaning about it. You know what I mean? That's what because the thing what annoyed me about that was everyone moaning about Nunes missing everything, and everyone making memes, and it's like, don't make the memes because he's going to be so good when because you'll see that and go like, I'm not letting people take the piss out of me anyway. Well, you can take it two ways. You can take it one way where it's like, I'm not going to let people take the piss out of me anymore. Or you go the other way and you're like, oh no, I'm shit, can't make it in the Premier League. You know what I mean?
I mean, the one thing that I did take the piss out of before, and I will take the piss out of him at Liverpool, again, I will openly say it, I hate Liverpool Football Club more than I hate Arsenal, Tottenham, all of them, because I hate the entitlement. I hate it.
Yeah.
And it was when Trent started shushing the Man City fans after scoring the Charity Shield.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing,
Oh no,
you
just
spanner?
You see Nunes crying.
I was like, you're crying over the Charity Shield, bruv. Like, what is that? It's like, what are you even doing, you mug?
I've seen Liverpool fans like, oh, it's great, we haven't won it in 22 years, and it's like, mate, you've had like 8 chances to win it, like, and no one tries.
It's like, who gives a shit? It's like, and it's when they're trying to rub salt in the wounds with me on Twitter, right? It's like, oh, we beat you in both cup finals last year, and like, you know, we smashed you. I was like, well, you didn't beat us in 90 minutes or 120 minutes across any. It took penalties. One took Kepa to take a penalty. That's just everything you need to know. So obviously, like we said, game coming up. You think it's going one or two ways?
Yeah.
Who are you excited to see the most? Like with Everton, there's got to be something which you're really excited to see this year after how, let's be honest, how dismal last year was, and you only just about kept up.
Probably most excited to see how we kick on from the. Just to see how we kick on, because we were so good at the back end of last season after such a tricky start, whether we can carry on that momentum throughout the start of the season. Because the thing is with Everton, we usually have really strong starts. Really strong starts, and it gets to like November and we drop off.
Yeah.
And then a derby comes, we get smashed, and then we just end up swerving everything, like, and just going to absolute shit. So that's what I'm interested to see, whether we get a running start or not. You know what I mean? And in terms of players, just seeing how that Tarkowski's going to do, whether he's going to be a solid centre back, and whether he's going to link up with Mina or Michael Keane. Mina's a bit hit and miss as well.
Yeah, Mina's, because I remember when him and Zuma, when you first had them, were just unbelievable. They were monsters.
I don't know why he didn't keep Zuma. Or didn't get him back.
I think so. He just didn't fit how Lampard wanted to play.
Oh, he did boot a cat as well, didn't he?
Well, that was a West Ham stuff to do.
Oh yeah,
I mean, obviously people are going to try and link it back to Chelsea because everyone hates us. So you know, whatever happens, I was ex-Chelsea player. I'm like, yeah, but he plays for West Ham now, mate. Doesn't matter. So okay.
Yeah, but yeah, just seeing how everything links up, and whether that Dwight McNeil's going to do a job for us, how we're going to look at not filling in Richarlison, because Richarlison for me was one of my favourite players, genuinely. I'd say I love shithouses, and Richarlison is that embodiment of it. And sometimes he does like give us that bit of oomph that we need sometimes.
Yeah.
And I feel like he understood the club too, which is a big thing for us.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing, right? When he left, it wasn't like oh thanks Everton, like you're a big part of my career, like the typical I understand the club, but you got no idea because your PR guy wrote it.
Yeah.
You could tell that he meant it.
Oh yeah, because he was like constantly like, even when there wasn't like games or he was injured, just retweeting like all Everton fans, like little fans, going to meet fans, sorting stuff out with fans, learning English just for us. I'm learning Scouse, which is a different language.
Yes, lad.
So yeah, I did proper rate him. I really rated him, and I was genuinely gutted.
No,
more gutted than Ancelotti.
Really? That's a big statement, that.
Because I understood Ancelotti's decision. That was the difference. And I don't fully understand Richarlison's decision, if I'm honest. Because I don't know where he's going to get the game time.
I think it's maybe the attraction of Champions League.
That's it. It's just Champions League because he wants to play Champions League. And we can't offer that, so...
Do you obviously the plan with Everton was to get to that point.
Yeah.
What's the likelihood of that ever happening, do you feel? Like, being honest with yourself and everything else.
Few years.
Yeah. You think it is plausible? So you think it's definitely something on the cards?
Mate, you saw how close we got with Ancelotti. We were so close, and then we just flapped it right at the end. It's just like us keeping that bottle.
Yeah.
We just need to keep the bottle and it'll be all right.
This is it, and it'll be interesting to see how it all goes, to be honest. Like, I think it'll be all right. I think that's the thing for me. It's like it's either going to go one or two ways, where it's going to work out, get the bottle, like do what Liverpool did, or it's going to go the other way.
Exactly.
And that's where it's been like, we'll have to see what happens with it. But yeah, I mean,
you just don't know. You just got like, but with Everton, it's the hope that kills you.
Yeah.
Because we'll go on a flying run, like whether it's beating some of the top 4 teams or getting good draws and stuff like that, and then we'll get smashed by Watford or Norwich or something like that. Luckily, they're both not in there now, so a bit better. But
Fulham this year, won't it?
Yeah.
They're a weird one. I don't get
Fulham. That was it. Who smashed us, wasn't it?
Was it Fulham? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. Fulham. No, Fulham are bloody. They were in the championship, weren't they?
What, last year?
Like this year?
Oh yeah.
Wait.
You had Norwich we battered.
Yeah.
I know, beginning of the season, it was like your first or second game, you played off the park, didn't you?
Yeah.
So Daniel Farke said, yeah, going to come up and play great liquid football. No, you're not. No, you're not. He's, yeah. But I mean, we'll have to see what happens with them. But, you know, live and let live. I'm excited for the game. That's all that matters to me, mate.
I'm excited. See how it goes now. I've missed footy so much.
But you, sir, are done. There you go. Happy with that?
Oh, well happy.
Lovely. I'll show you the back. Got to do that whole little process. There you go. Happy with that?
Perfect.
There you go.
Oh mate, you've done well. You've done really well.
It's almost like I am a trained barber. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
I still don't trust it. your beard's not long enough, lad.
Oh mate, I need to grow that. I want to grow it out. The only reason it looks all right at this point is because there's
the longer your beard, the better you are at being a barber. It's just facts.
Mate, it gets hot though.
Yeah.
There we go, mate. All sorted.